Welcome back to the JMR YouTube channel. Today we talk about my top 5 inexpensive fabrication tools. Let's get started.
Okay, so let's get started. First of all, we really do a lot more sheet metal work than heavy fab stuff. We do some heavy fab stuff, we build brackets and some stuff like that, but chassis repairs, that kind of thing. But the bulk of our fab stuff is mainly sheet metal stuff. So that's kind of what I'm going to deal with today. Now, there again too, like the title said, these are all going to be inexpensive tools. We have the welders and the bead rollers and the chop saws and all that stuff. And once you kind of built your tool collection up and you want to buy some of those pricier items, obviously, by all means, it's going to make your life simpler. Go ahead and do it. But for today's video, it's going to mostly be inexpensive stuff. This is my top 5. And actually, it's going to be more than 5 items. There's a few things that I grouped together, and we'll kind of get into that as we go along. Okay, so the first one I want to go over with you are these guys right here. And you might be looking at these and going, what the hell are those things? Technically, these are sheet metal brakes. Technically. Let's see here if I can get one to bend for you here. Basically, you put it in there. This side over here on this particular one is 3/8. This is a half. 3/8 lip, half lip. This is a 1 inch, and I think that's a quarter if I'm not mistaken. And these are cool if you're just doing little small projects, stuff like that. But basically you slide it in there all the way. It's got little diamonds. You can see that it's in there all the way. And you just give it a little bend, and voila. Now that's pretty cool. But what I really use these for more than anything is you almost always have to have a line to measure off of, offset something, whatever. Okay. So let's say we want to overlap a piece by roughly 1/2 inch, but we want our hole to pretty much be in the center. Well, I would grab this one over here. This is, and instead of taking a tape measure and measuring over and marking it, I just take this guy right here, set it in there, make sure it's flush on my little diamonds there. Grab a marker. And boom. That's a 1 inch lip. Now this obviously isn't cut straight, but that's a 1 inch lip. Then if we want to split it right down the middle, we could just come right over here to the 1/2 inch. This is a little bent, so I'm only going to go that far. Give that a pull. Okay, now we have right down the middle. So to me, these are pretty handy. Like I said, you can use them for, what they're intended for or whatever, but I use them for measuring out lines more than anything. Okay, now along the same path as these, this is one of the things I want to kind of bundle together because it's all sheet metal stuff. These guys right here, these are hole poppers. And if you do a lot of sheet metal stuff, this thing can really speed things up. You can actually clamp this thing in a vise and go and just run your piece down along, have everything measured out, and just pop a hole, and be done. Basically, you just slide it in there, give it a squeeze, boom, hole. Give it a squeeze, boom, hole. I got it set up for 1/8 right now, 1/8 inch. That's a perfect 1/8 inch hole. This guy comes with the attachments to do 8 3/16, maybe a quarter. This is the box it comes in. 7 32nds, quarter, 9 32nds, 1/8 inch, 3/16. Kind of your main common ones. If we're using this, we're probably putting a pop rivet in it. So 1/8 and 3/16 is really all we use. This guy right here, I bought this thing off of like eBay or something. If you use these all day, every day, you may need a better one than this, but I don't know. I've had this thing for 5, 6, 7 years, and it's never failed me yet. You just got to make sure to keep the little gimmick on the bottom adjusted right, and it'll pop a hole. All right, now on that note, let's say you got your holes popped. Now you want to join them together. So we have these things called Clecos. And you've probably heard of Clecos, but maybe maybe you're not 100% sure exactly how they work. Basically, you get your Cleco and your Cleco pliers. You already got your holes pre-cut. Line your hole up, squeeze it so it collapses that. Go in, let it go. Go in. Okay. Now that's going to hold those two together. I kind of look at these as like temporary pop rivets. So that's going to hold that together while you remeasure stuff, make another piece, whatever the case. I'll show you this piece here. This is actually the battery side cover off of the NASCAR. And I don't know if you can see or not, but there's tons of rivets in this thing. This piece here had to be, because it's aluminum, I didn't have a way to weld it. It had to be made out of several different pieces. So along the way as I was fabbing it, I just put Clecos in it to hold everything. Because you got to take, you put it together, take it apart, put it together, take it apart. You don't want to have to drill rivets out all the time. And this keeps everything lined up perfectly. Make sure all your holes stay together. Good to go. Good little set of tools. These guys are literally made, I think I got these at, I don't even know where I got these at. Maybe Harbor Freight, but I think this guy is literally $6 or $7. And this one was probably $5 or $6. I've had them forever. I honestly don't remember. I think this guy here was maybe $30, $35 maybe. And Clecos, the initial kit, and here's the thing, you can get these in different sizes too. We have 1/8 and 3/16. These are all my 8s. I had 3/16 ones down here in the drawer. You can get the initial kit that has the pliers and probably somewhere between 10 to 20 Clecos for probably 30 to 40 bucks on the high side maybe. And then once you have the pliers, if you just need an extra bag of Clecos, I think the last bag of these I bought, there was 20 of them in there for like $15, something like that. So they're really inexpensive. You want to make yourself a nice little tray or something to keep all these together in, because they definitely will walk away on you. A guy that used to be an intern for us actually made this. Technically, these are supposed to lay in there, but we got too many of them going on right now. So yeah, that's a pretty inexpensive tool, and that's a good way to do your sheet metal stuff. Let's get rid of that. All right, staying on the theme of sheet metal. These are sheet metal snips. This pair right here, gosh, I bought the, okay, full transparency for all you guys at home, my light just went out. So I had to stop for a second and switch the battery out for a cord. But obviously you never saw that. So anyway, I bought these probably in the early 90s. Now, I ponied up on these. I think these were maybe, back then, I think these were maybe $40, which was quite a bit of money. But I've had these ever since then. And this is probably the absolute best pair of sheet metal shears that I own. I've got a few other pair, but these are probably the best. They definitely cut the straightest when you have a line to follow. And that's my go-to pair right there. Now these other ones, these are kind of lesser expensive ones. You can get these 3 here in a pack for like $30 or $40 for all 3 of them. This one I use a fair amount. This one is basically for making left-hand turns. So let's say you wanted to cut, let's say you wanted to round off the corner on this piece of metal here. While you could do it with these, and I've done it in the past, it's so much easier just to get these guys here. You kind of squeeze and steer them to the left as you go. And boom. Now, these will also cut straight if you're careful and this is all you have, it'll do it. The yellow ones are for cutting straight. The red ones are for left turns. The yellow ones are for cutting straight. I use these sometimes. We keep like 2 of each of these in our pit box, because inevitably, two guys need to use the same one at the same time. Happens all the time. These, unless you're left-handed, are virtually useless. These are really good for making right-hand turns. I swear you can only do it if you're holding these in your left hand. So if anybody has a better idea of the way to use these, please put it in the comment. So there again, probably today, in today's money, these will probably set you back about 50 bucks. These are 30 or 40, depending on where you get them. There again, we do a lot of sheet metal stuff, love those things. All right, moving on, let's see here. All right, hole punches, or transfer punches, I should say. These are really good if you make a lot of brackets, or you have one piece and you need to transfer the bolt hole dimensions to another piece. You got to find the exact center of the hole. That's what's good about these. You find the one that fits your hole in the diameter, and it already has the center set up on there. Let me see if I can find something to demonstrate that. Okay, so let's say you needed to replicate these two bolt holes on this piece here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to color this in just so you can see it. I actually have a fat marker we use for this, or a machinist die, but I think machinist die might be a little overkill for this. Okay, so let's say you got to do that. So you basically find the one that fits the best. Wow, that was dumb luck. See this one here, it pretty much fits. It's a tad loose, but not terrible. This one won't even go in. So that's our money. Now you take yourself a hammer, line everything up the way you want it. Put it in there, give her a whack. One's usually plenty good enough. As long as this piece didn't move on you, you can go into the second hole, and boom. I don't know if you guys can see it. Hopefully it picks it up. But right there, that's going to be the exact center of those holes. I think that's for a 3/8 bolt. So you'll probably want to drill that hole out one size larger than a 3/8. But that gets the dead center part of it, so that would bolt right up to it if that's what we were trying to do. Okay, those to the side. All right, last but not least, we're getting into a little bit of a heavier fab stuff. Oh, and by the way, those hole punches are, oh my gosh, I don't know, $25 or so, 30 maybe, something like that. I bought these off of a tool truck, but they sell them at like Harbor Freight and those kind of places. And if you don't do a ton of this stuff, if you're not doing production work, if you're not doing this every day, the cheap ones are absolutely fine. All right, that takes us to our final deal. These are 4.5-inch electric angle grinders. Now, today they have really nice battery powered ones. In fact, back when I was selling tools, I sold a ton of the Milwaukee ones. But because this is supposed to be, those things are with a battery and a charger, they're pushing a couple $100 easy. And this video is supposed to be, inexpensive tools. So I've had this one here forever. I probably paid $30 or $40 for it. Literally, I think I bought this in the early 90s. And it's been a really good piece. We had two, and this one here I bought maybe 2 years ago because I got tired of changing out that end on it. So usually we keep one set up one way, one set up the other way. But I think this one here was maybe $50 at Lowe's, I believe. But you can literally, like, we do a lot of, we use it with a lot of these cutoff wheels, mainly on this guy. You can put a grinding wheel on it, but we rarely ever use what we call rock grinders. So this one here pretty much stays set up with a cutoff wheel on it, so we can just grab it and go. This one pretty much stays set up with a flapper wheel. Now they have various grits of flapper wheels, so we do change them fairly often, but this is a pretty easy one to change. As you can see, this thing is wore smooth out, so it's definitely time to change that one. Also too, if you can help it, never take your cord and wrap it around the tool and then put it in your toolbox, because that puts stress on this cord like this. And until I figured that out, every once in a while I would have a wire pull out from the inside, and I could never figure out what was going on until somebody pointed that out. Now I keep them looped up. Actually, we have a hanger over there on our pegboard where these things, they hang like that, and then you can just wrap those cords around them. Today I got them taped up for the video, but however you do that, but you don't want to wrap them around the tool if you can help it. Okay guys, well that's it. Hopefully you liked this video. Hopefully it was informative. If you liked it, please comment on it. Hey, I enjoyed the video, whatever. If you have any questions about any of this stuff, how to use it, where to buy it, that kind of thing, put that in the comments as well. And also too guys, while we're here, yeah, I'm like every other YouTuber in the world. I'm asking for subscriptions, to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. And look guys, here's the deal. We are far away from getting rich off of YouTube. Matter of fact, we're not even monetized. But to help people find our videos and to hopefully get monetized one day, we need subscribers. And let's face it, if you subscribe to us, the worst that can happen is when you open up your YouTube, if we have a video, it's probably going to pop up and say, hey, these guys put up a video. Just don't watch it if you don't like it. But we would definitely appreciate the subscription. It helps us going towards getting monetized. And even before that, you have to have 1,000 subscribers before you can monetize. But so before you even get to 1,000 subscribers, the more we have, the more it's going to recommend our videos and the more people that can see it. And just so everybody knows, when we do get monetized, every penny is going to go right back into the channel. This is not what I do for a living. Chase is still in high school, or just started high school. So definitely not what he's doing for a living right now. He would love to do it as a career when he gets out of school. So we got a few years to get this thing built up, hopefully. Anyway, that's all I got, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.